You don't feel that some choices you made in life could have altered like shit that's happened?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
So many.
That's what I'm saying. So there's got to be probably, if there is other dimensions, there's other versions of you that took the other path.
I have some depressing dimensions. Let me tell you what, boy. Like, I am so happy to be here where I am currently.
Yeah,
we could have taken some dark turns.
Yeah.
Sweet Derek, are we live?
We are live, coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada. This is the Naturals Pod.
Welcome to this episode of the Naturals Pod. As always, I'm Uncle Kyle. Seated next to me, the man, the myth, the legend, shoeless Sweet Derek, the producer.
I will be shoeless and I will be
Show him the
comfortable.
socks. Show him the socks.
What
There
up,
they are.
Netties?
Verified shoeless. What's up, everybody? Today we're just kind of doing one of our little random little ramajams, and we're going to talk about a couple things that we have quickly gone over on the pod, and we've said we're going to dive into it, so this is that episode. We are catching up with shit. I recently, for those of you that don't follow on the socials, I recently got laid off at my job. Boo-hoo. Whatever. I'm used to it in construction, like unemployment. And drawing unemployment is part of the motherfucking game, and I consider it a vacation. Take care of your bills, people, so that way you can be on a vacation when you're on unemployment and not be stressing it.
Yeah, it happens, man. But, you know, more time for the pod and something else eventually will come around. So.
Yeah, I was totally fucking miserable working there anyways, and I was contemplating quitting, and, I mean, that is the beauty of my life situation is if I don't want to be there anymore, I'm not going to be there anymore.
Yeah, it's nice. Most people don't have that luxury, dude, so it's good.
Yeah, and eventually when this shit pops off, I'll be doing this, Derek, and then how could I hate that job?
Yeah.
It's the one thing I really love doing is talking to myself in a padded room, staring into a camera. I feel like there's other people, more dangerous people that share this love with
it's
me.
all thanks to the natties, man. Keep spreading the word, sharing it. We love doing this for you guys, and we're just we're growing.
Yes, I want to put that right at the top. We've
Yep.
gotten like some really cool compliments from people that
amazing.
watch and or listen to the pod at work, and we love you. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
You listening right now. Shout out to you. If you're listening, just picture me pointing at you with a grin on my
Shaking
face.
his
That's
head,
what
yeah.
I'm doing.
Yeah, it feels
Enjoy.
great to get that feedback, especially from, obviously friends and family, it matters, but when you get the random viewers that we see you guys, and it really does mean a lot when you comment and say shit. So
Yeah.
fuck yeah, dude. Let's go.
And
Let's
also,
keep growing it.
we're out here grinding. We're not going to get too deep into specifics because so far when we've kind of like just put a little prayer out there in the universe and internally we to discuss it, but we don't put it out there because, we just want to manifest it and let it happen, dude. As you've seen with Todd, we're manifesting things. We're making magic happen. But big shit in the works. Big shit. Like if you saw the episode with Todd, that was just great.
Yeah,
and we're gonna
if
do
you haven't,
more of
go
that.
back and check it. It was an amazing episode. Great guest to have on. We're gonna have him on again. It was awesome.
Honorary natural. I would
Yeah.
say he could
Oh,
also
yeah.
be a natural because it was effortless and
Yep.
it was so cool to have
he
him
crushed
on.
it.
We had a fucking great time.
Yeah, it was a blast.
But yeah, so we're putting it out there into the magic Epheles, and we'll see what happens. But either way, love to you guys. Thank you for sharing that with us, and not to be like egotistical or be like shower me with affection, but also say what's up. We will talk back to you.
Yeah.
It's an interactive
Yeah.
experience. It'll be fun.
Yeah, we love seeing it. Honestly, it means a lot to us. So thanks, guys. For
Yeah. Thank you guys, and also keep rocking with us. But anyways, in your challenge episode, we one of the questions that once again you guys are great put in for that was like, what's your greatest fear? And you said fear of death. And we've also touched on this in other pods, but we've never really dove in. So this is the motherfucking one, Derek. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
And actually, you know what? Doesn't count as a cutoff because I didn't let you get started.
That's fair.
I'm just going to tell you a little story that will, I feel like, give people a little glimpse behind the curtain, and it will justify the way I feel. And then if maybe you have a story that you'd like to share, we'll do a little back and forth, and we'll just really get into it,
Hell
dude.
yeah,
Sink
dude.
our teeth into it.
Let's hear
So,
it, buddy.
my mother passed away 2.5 years ago. R.I.P. to Mama. But on the day that she passed, it was just a culmination of so many things. Like there was a lot going on. So my mother's best friend had passed away before her. And the funeral was essentially, I'm just going to speed through this real quick because there's certain details I don't necessarily want to share.
Correct, that's fair.
But my dad was supposed to give the eulogy and my sister was supposed to sing at it.
Okay.
And my mother passed away that morning. So that was rough.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, if you are someone who has taken care of a loved one who's sick and you've seen them pass, it happened with my grandpa too. I watched him pass. Unfortunately, he was very sick. And so was my mother. It's rough, dude. It's just very rough.
Yeah.
The body just slowly shutting down. I wouldn't want anybody to have to take care of me like that.
No.
Because it was rough, dude. Like, I would do, like, for my family and then, for friends that are close, like, please don't become a quadriplegic, Derek. But also, like, as your friend, I would take care of you because I feel like that's what you're supposed to do. Like,
Oh,
you
yeah,
can't
your
just
loved ones and family. You can't just leave people.
have people just fucking alone in the world. And you're like, oh, well, you'll
Shit.
figure it out. And you can only wiggle your toes and, like, blink. So anyways, she passed away. They had to go do that. And I told them, I was like, you need to go. Like, it's what mom would have wanted you to do. So please go. And because it's supposed to be a celebration of life, and of course it's very sad, but also they were an integral part of that. So
you
they needed
good
to go.
Memories of that person too. You know what I mean? So yeah.
So I stayed home and I was going to, it's weird, man. You have a DB with you, man. You have a dead body with you, and it's kind of eerie, but also it's like, it's a loved one. It's not like just a stranger who's dead there. It was my mom. So I, that's just kind of an eerie situation. And I think I text a couple of my friends, Chris. Well, I text Chris and he just like snap FaceTimed me.
Yeah.
So we're talking and I basically explained the situation that I was talking about to him. And he goes, oh, your mom's still there. Well, when she passed away, when the systems are shutting down, like you are no longer conscious and your body's just trying to keep itself alive. So she was breathing very deeply. So when she passed, unfortunately, her little mouth was open and I was like, oh shoot. I was like, sorry, mama. But like, shit, dude, you kind of went with your mouth open.
Yeah.
And so Chris FaceTimed me. I looked at her and she was fucking smiling, dude. She was,
what?
She was smiling. Crazy. She was like, and her mouth was open and then she was smiling. So I was like,
dude, that's kind of like low key a little creepy as well though. I know it's your mom, but isn't that a little scary a little bit that it was like mouth open to smiling?
I could see why it would be concerning for you, but for me, I was like, boom, heaven confirmed.
No,
right
yeah,
there.
no, I would say it's
boom,
a good thing. I
boom.
wasn't saying it's a negative, but also like a little bit frightening. But
shocking, not frightening for me, but it was like, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. But that's a good sign then. Yeah, I agree. So then you're the firm believer that for sure we don't know what it is, but you're a firm believer there is something after this that made her want to smile is what you're saying.
Or just that there's something. That there's something because you said your big thing is like, what if it's just nothing?
Yeah.
But I mean, let me just ease your mind real quick, Derek. If it's nothing, then it's fucking nothing, buddy. And you're going to know nothing.
Well,
you're not going to feel it. You're not going to be conscious of it at all.
The only reason I think that bad take is like when you pass out, you're not aware. You know what I'm saying? There's no fucking bright light or any dream state or something weird that happened. Like you're just off. The mind is off. When you sleep, we sometimes dream, but other times I'm not aware that I'm asleep. Like I'm just fucking asleep and then I wake up.
But if you're dreaming, there's like a consciousness. So what you're saying is if your brain is dead, then there isn't, even if it's dormant, there is an ability to have a conscious and that is gone and you are gone and you're just gone.
Yeah, I unfortunately believe that that's possible. But at the same time, even like brain neurologists and stuff say that they don't know what a consciousness is. Like they don't even know if it's part of the brain or what it is. So that is a unique, crazy thing too, because they're like, we don't know what that is.
I'm going to need you to take a fucking stance on this right now, Derek. Okay? I'm going to need you to take a firm stance because that's kind of a half toe on the line type of thing that you just did there. So I need a firm one. Do we have a soul? Does the body have a soul? A version of you that lives on an ethereal plane, if you will, or an astral plane for my Doctor Strange fans out there. You know what I'm saying?
The astral projection or whatever. That would be trippy, dude, to be able to do that, like moving around and then you're just like looking at yourself.
You don't feel like that's a thing?
I don't know. That would be crazy. I look, my thing is, I am a person that doesn't shut the door on shit. right? So like I always
Yes,
keep an
I
open
know that
mind
about
of
you, sweet
stuff.
Derek, yes.
So like I'm not a hard yes or no guy. So I'm not gonna say fuck no, there's no soul and there's no afterlife and it's just nothing. But I'm not gonna
Fuck
say
that
there isn't, you know
shit,
what I
Derek.
mean?
Take no. Pick one, dude.
No.
You're
I
straddling
can't
the
pick
line
one.
again.
You
Pick
can't pick one because
Pick
who
one.
knows? Nobody knows. You know what I mean? Because
I
I believe
fucking hate
mixed
that
things.
so
I know.
much,
I'm
dude.
sorry. I believe mixed things, dude. Because they're like life is too complex. I think. For there not to be an explanation, and then there's a lot of scientific things.
Okay,
like
so
energy
what are
doesn't
the other
die, or can't
fucking
be destroyed,
options?
created.
What are the other options then? Nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The fucking Matrix. Like, what else do you think are the
Matrix would be
possible?
crazy. So for me, it would be. I don't even really know if there's a heaven or a hell, like, because I'm not a religious guy. I don't judge on people that are religious, but I'm not religious. I'm not discounting of religion, but I'm just not a religious guy. I don't believe specifically that there's a heaven and a hell, but I believe that there could be some afterlife that like you go and you're just energy and you're floating around somewhere else, dude. Like, I don't know if you're still you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I'm going to be Derek anymore and you're going to be Kyle, but there's going to be some type of form of you floating around or going somewhere else.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So in an ideal situation, I want you to tell me you need to be very detailed. What is your best case scenario?
Yeah.
Do you want to come back as you and just be in like, oh, this is chapter 2 type situation? Would you want to live anew, but perhaps have like some knowledge that like I've done this shit before?
Well, see, so this is where I push the stand back on that because so for me, it is an interesting concept when people say like you relive your life, right? Like we're in a repetitive cycle and we're not really aware that you like come back, not necessarily as you, but a type version of you. And you're like, you got another chance to do a better job, like life, make different decisions. But my thing is I have no knowledge
Multiverse,
yeah,
essentially.
like
is what we're
correct,
saying.
right? Like in other dimensions of like now I'm another Derek, and I was like I lived the previous life. Now let me try to like improve.
And
on
these
that.
are
I have the
happening
knowledge of me.
concurrently or in separate times, and you just like reboot.
See, that's where I don't know. Do we reboot? And it's just a repetitive loop, and you're just
Take
restarting
a-
over,
take
or
a
is it
stand on this and pick something? In this scenario, you are the one that is crafting your afterlife.
My thing is, those people say that like, oh, you have like you come back reincarnation. The reason I don't really buy that bullshit is because I have no knowledge of a previous life. There's nothing where I felt like I lived before. I don't have any feeling that I lived somewhere before.
Nothing.
Never. Nothing. I've never like saw something and I'm like, oh, that seems familiar. Like I've been there before. And
There's
I haven't really
nothing
been there.
that you have interest in or that you're drawn to and you don't really necessarily know why. Like there's nothing to justify it. Like for me, the shit that I do for work and like the things that interest me or fascinate me, it makes sense because I am my father's son and we have many common interests, and those are things that I did with
believe
him.
that, but I believe that your dad passed on to you, right, through his DNA, some things that you like. Doesn't mean that you lived another life and you were fucking John Wayne in 1880 shooting out in the Wild West and then you came back as Kyle. You know what I'm saying? But I do believe in the part that a family member, like when that person has a child, that child is a part of you. I do believe that, but that necessarily doesn't mean that you're like connected in the sense that you're a different person.
Birth. Sad face.
Sad
face.
Yeah.
So you don't have. I frequently. I wouldn't say I've had it happen many times in my life. It doesn't happen super frequently, but it's just very weird when it happens. You've never had like just serious deja vu. Where I've had dreams where I'm like, ooh, that was weird.
So deja vu reinforces that we are like doing this over. Not meaning like I'm a different person in another life and reincarnated. I'm meaning like, oh shit, we're in a loop. Like this shit already happened. That is trippy to me. Like Matrix type shit. You know
I got to be happy that I don't have like a fucked up life. Like, I mean, it's not amazing and it's not like a dream life, but it's a good life. Like
deja vu is interesting though, because I don't think they know what that is either. And then also like the Berenstein effect, where like all these people remember one thing, but
that just all goes back to the mind fuck, dude. You can do it. Like, there's a whole nation in North Korea who think Kim Jong-un doesn't pee or poo and is a god and just all this insane shit. And if you
I
control the environment, you absolutely
Yeah, you can control people's
and you kind of
views.
mind fuck yourself. But the Mandela effect and all of that, it just doesn't matter. Why is that consequential? Does it matter? Unless somebody has a gun to your head and it's like Fruit
No,
of the
that's
Loom,
true.
cornucopia or no, bang, like, you know,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Berenstein or Berenstein or whatever. But I
even
will
then.
say that the deja vu shit is weird that it's like you feel like you've already done that before.
But that's what I'm saying to you, Derek, is like I'll dream about it.
See, I don't dream.
And then
it's
you
like real
really,
life.
I don't always dream either, but I dream about it. You forget about that dream because it was just usually it's just an innocuous thing. There have been a couple times where there's been some scary shit and like it was leading up to it. And I was like, I know what's about to happen. Boom, get out of here.
Yeah.
Or, you know, whatever, adjust course because of that. And it happens. And I even catch myself in the dream or the deja vu. I'll say, oh, that's wild. Deja vu. I remember that. So, I mean, shit, maybe you're right.
Yeah. Like that's but my thing is then it wouldn't be in like this plane. Meaning like we have history, right? We have proof of history. So like that isn't repetitive. Like funny enough, history does repeat it in itself of like some wars and like certain things, which is strange in itself. But I'm meaning there wasn't an exact Derek 100 something years ago
Sure.
that lived an exact life.
Yes.
So what that means is, yeah, in another dimension, you are living your same life again. And maybe you're taking different paths, because I do believe in the thing where like you make choices in your life and like that alters shit that happens.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't get into the crazy like butterfly effect type shit. Like I feel like that's ultra
is that a mind fuck?
on
Yeah, but
you.
that's-
Absolutely. Why would you do that to yourself? Like
You're not choosing to do that to yourself, though. You're not choosing to live that. I mean, that's just life. You're not choosing to be Kyle and to be Kyle again in another. You're not choosing that.
but
It happens.
But your choices create certain events that happen.
You don't feel that some choices you made in life could have altered like shit that's happened?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah,
So many.
That's what I'm saying. So there's got to be probably, if there is other dimensions, there's other versions of you that took the other
Ooh,
path.
I have some depressing dimensions. Let me tell you what, boy. Like I am so happy to be here where I am
one.
currently.
Yeah,
We
this
could
is a
have
good
taken
one.
some dark turns.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah. Where you
okay,
fuck up.
so long story short, we need to get back to this. We're doing our typical thing where we are
we-
going on some tangents.
Yeah.
So, ideal afterlife for you? Yes, you would like to like do it again. Whether but what do you want to be? You want to
See,
be?
I don't know if
you want to
that's-
live again?
Yeah, I don't know.
You want to be like on an ethereal plane, or like essentially like, I mean, immortal? Are you immortal? Are you in heaven? Are you playing a harp?
No.
Or, you know, are you reborn into something else?
What would be cool is that, and this gets kind of out there, but it would be sick if like you transported somehow to another part of the universe and you lived in another like planet and and you like knew, like I knew I was Derek and I lived on Earth, and now I'm fucking on freaking planet Xena in some crazy
marble
alien
mouth
body
language.
Yeah, like doing some other like life and being like, oh shit, this is another part of the universe, and now I get to live as like this being, and like, oh shit, I was on Earth. Like
that would be
kinda
pretty
cool.
sick, but at the same time, I feel like that would be kind of a shit sandwich, because subjectively, I feel like you in your mind know what you would want to look like as an alien. So would you want to be like a
that's
humanoid alien, or would you want to be a fucking dragon? I mean, the sky's the limit. Like,
I
pick
think being like
something wild.
a predator or something would be cool, dude. Predators are badass.
You want the mouth and everything. You want the.
I mean, they're ugly, but they're freaking sick.
Yeah.
And they can hunt and fuck shit up, dude. I mean, that's Predators badass. Those are great movies.
And
too, by
Derek
the way.
wants dreadlocks too. Like, note that. Big forehead, dreadlocks.
But wouldn't that be? I don't know. I don't know how scary that would be though. If you pass away and then like somehow your consciousness is zoomed and you like wake up and you're in another planet in a part of the universe, solar system as another being. Like, do you think that would just be like, whoa?
That it would be fucking sick. Like, what if you were like, you
Would it be
ever
sick
watch the
or
cartoon
scary?
Ben 10? The kid who has the little watch and he turns it and he could turn into different aliens.
Oh,
Yes,
that's cool. No, I
that would
haven't
be
seen that. Yeah,
epic.
yeah.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Yes, sign
I think
me
that
up.
would be cool. Yeah, because like
Yeah.
for me, I've always been interested in space and the universe and shit like that, and traveling, like the Star Wars, Star Trek stuff, like traveling around other worlds and seeing other aliens. Like I am the type of person, whether you find this religious or not, there's no way we're alone. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily believe they're coming here, and I know that's a whole nother propaganda thing. I'm not going to get that, but I you can't tell me there isn't some form of life,
Yeah.
whether it be a fucking tree or the fish,
But
or
that
whatever.
would be
There's
scary
something
as
that's out
fuck.
there.
So okay. are you saying that you think potentially in other areas, in other universes, galaxies, whatever, there are also humans, like maybe we were like seeded, like they're like, boop, you're here now.
Yeah. I believe that's possible.
Yeah.
I believe there could be other like humans like us at other planets.
We ain't
They've
gonna
already
fucking live
seen-
that long though, buddy. We'll
No,
never
I know.
see the fruits of that.
Because
but that would be
NASA
pretty
has
cool.
seen other planets. They have seen them that are very similar to our planets.
Yeah.
Who's to say there's not other humanoid type people on our planet? But you're right. That's the unfortunate thing is I do believe that because of how crazy technology is getting, that there could be a time somewhere in humanity where we can travel in space, like Elon Musk to Mars and shit.
Yeah.
That shit might actually happen. Unfortunately, we won't make it there. We'll be.
I'm
wherever
fine with
we
that.
go,
That seems extremely scary. No,
Really?
thank you. Yeah.
If
no
you could like
thanks.
safely fly around in space, that would scare you.
Nope.
You'd be afraid of what you'd find.
Or you would just have some like crazy space horror,
Like
terrible
Alien,
thing happen.
like that shit would be
Sure,
horrifying.
but
yeah.
I mean, there's like kind of just a death portion of that, and then I don't know if you've ever watched that Death, Love, and Robots,
I
Robots,
have.
Death,
It's a
and
good
Love,
show.
whatever
Like
order it goes in,
yeah.
but it has the little, it's an anthology type thing where there's
show.
these different animators, and they just do like a short 15-minute episode on something. Some of them are cool. The very first season, first one off the rip, Sunny's Edge, where she like controls. That would, let me tell you something. That's a Make-A-Wish thing for me, Derek. If I could have like a crazy monster that I could just like tap into, throw on a little headset and just
That'd be
roam
sick.
around as a beast.
There's a
that'd be
movie
fucking
like
epic.
that too. There's a movie like that too, where she like was like a monster. She found she was linked to a monster or whatever.
Yeah.
So like my thing is,
Hold on. I had a reason I brought that up.
okay,
And I fucking forgot about it because I liked that one episode. What were we talking about before that? Run it back for me a little bit.
we were talking about being aliens and traveling through space.
Yes.
And traveling
Okay.
through
So
space,
do
it's
you remember the
horrifying.
one episode where the guy and his crew, they landed on a station that was like way the fuck away from the known, like charted, like it was out on the edges essentially.
Yeah.
And he runs into this chick that he had been romantically involved with, or she was also a cosmonaut or whatever the fuck. For whatever reason, he's like, oh, you're here. And then they hook up. And the one chick who's on his crew is like, like freaking out. And then basically, spoiler alert, at the end of it, they figure out that they like crash landed onto like a little alien, or like the alien took the ship, and they were like, the alien was mind fucking them into like, was projecting it into their brain.
Yeah, and then eating you or whatever, right? Wasn't that it? Weren't you being eaten? or
No,
something?
I
Wasn't
mean,
that-
he wasn't getting eaten, but like, he was like, show me. He was like, I'm not in a real world. Show me, show me. She's like, you won't like what you see. And he's like, show me. And then he wakes up and he's in like the little, typical sleep space pod, but he's like all emaciated and super skinny. And he looks
that's what I'm saying, he's
around
gonna
and he
die,
sees his
yeah.
other crews. Yeah. But it's like, what's the alien doing at that point? Like, mind fucking you? Like, that would be terrible, Derek. I don't want that.
Yeah,
Fuck
that is
space.
horrifying.
I don't want to go to space. Just to bring it back around to my point is like, nope,
Yeah,
fuck
that would
space,
be
terrible,
scary.
dude.
And there probably is like some crazy aliens out there that would be terrifying, like Alien and Predator. Like I don't
Yeah.
want to run into those.
I
You
just
would
don't
be
want to get
fucked.
super murdered by an alien. Like that would be horrific. The same.
That's why
reason
it's
I
always
wouldn't wanna
funny
be
to me when
off
they're like,
by a
"I want
dinosaur.
aliens to come here." It's like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Because if there was a being that literally was that powerfully in technology advanced,
Yeah.
they would just wipe us the fuck out. We'd be like little
Correct.
ants. We could do nothing about it. No nukes don't do shit. It don't matter. We're dead or we're slaves. Nobody.
That
wants
just speaks to the guilty conscience of man, though, that we think that they would just come over here and be like, "We're just gonna take your shit," because that's what we do, especially as Americans. We just steamroll motherfuckers
It's
and
a
go
good old
in there.
taking
So it's like-
resources though, and why else would they? They're not going to come here just to be like, we exist. Like there's usually a
But
terrible
also, it would
motive,
be dope
probably.
as long as they're not like assholes. Like as long as they're like, "Hey, so we kind of float around near you, and we've decided to make contact here. But here's the thing: like, you need to know, we could just immediately death ray you.
It's like
and you're
that.
Gone.
It's like that part where there's been multiple shows on it, but where like we are technology advanced that they feel we are good enough to be seen.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
that would be
Like, that's an
cool if they were
interesting
like,
thing.
we're gonna
like you're a
step
part of the
in.
galaxy now. We're letting you
Yeah.
know there's a galaxy of aliens, and now we can teach you our ways and get you a little bit more advanced and get you into space and a part of the galaxy fucking whatever alliance or whatever the fuck. Would you do that? What if they? What if that
Correct.
happened?
So that's, I mean, we're gonna put up a little counter for you because you've been fucking running whatever I want you to talk. You've been running me over this time.
Sorry,
but what the
buddy.
whole point that I was trying to say is, that would be amazing if they're like, we're going to like, because I feel that also, and don't murder me, religious people, I've already confirmed, I feel like that, yes, there's something else. But also, if there's galaxies and different universes and stuff, there might be like just crazy shit that we don't talk about. And perhaps like we were not necessarily manufactured, but we are organic beings, and there's somebody that could have done that and just like cross-pollinating plants and doing all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
It's wild, man. Like if you think about it, the span of history and then what a short period of time it took for us to get from being like a more primitive man to boom, like that happened quick.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs, Ottoman Empire.
Dude, if you think about how old like, Earth really is, it's like 4 billion years. I mean, that doesn't even make sense. Think about 150 million years ago. What the fuck was here?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is it's fucking insane because
it's insane, dude.
Why did we just shoop?
Yeah.
What was happening
I know.
On this other big, massive fucking chunk of time that we just had to whip, and then we did it.
And we don't even know about it. That's what's great. Like 1 billion years ago, they don't know. They don't know.
It's like when you were getting on AOL and the bar was like right there, but it was just like, it's just sitting there and you're like, just hit that and finish that. Just get done with it. And that last section will take like 2 hours, you know?
Now, I know Elon Musk is working on that Neuralink shit, and there is positives to it, but it's also scary. And I know a lot of rich people, I feel like they are trying to find a way to put consciousness in a machine so you could ultimately live forever. How do you feel about that? Would you live, if they could transfer your consciousness to like a robot and knowing that you'd live forever, would you want that?
Probably not.
No.
I mean, we talked about this in the early episodes, which if you haven't seen those, go check out the early Office days. But I don't think so, dude.
No.
The finality or the fragility of life is what makes life worth living. And that, like the first season of that show, if you watch Altered Carbon, you'll see like living for a long time kind of fucks you up. And at a certain point you realize like, I need to just be over at some point and be done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I would want to, but also like if you could just zap into a new body and you could have like Super Body 9000 where you're like Dwayne the testosterone out Dwayne Johnson, dude, and you could go and destroy people. Or you could just be normal, or you could be a fucking tiger or an eagle, you know?
Yeah.
Sure, the sky's the limit. But also, if there's a chip in your brain, I don't want somebody controlling me.
No, yeah, that shit's scary.
And that's why it's just like, nope, not doing that.
I feel like the negative, like the negatives are too worse than the positive of a Neuralink. Like I understand, like you're right, because who's to say who's going to control the chip? They could just control you now. Like it could be like straight mind control. I know that we're getting a conspiracy type shit there, but that is true.
Yeah,
like,
I mean that would be fucking terrifying. Like, what if that is really like the final thing, you know, like you have The Last of Us type shit where it's a fungi or whatever the fuck it is, mushrooms,
some other
or whatever.
And like, you know, other disease
Zombies,
that wipes everything. Yeah, zombies
or crazy like weather, or just like the shit changing and
an asteroid. That shit can happen again too.
Yeah.
An asteroid can happen again too. Dude, that would be fucking crazy. But it is kind of like Black Mirror. Like that show too would be crazy that like that Neuralink shit, you could like see your phone through your eye and you're just like scrolling in your mind.
Where the guy like loses his job and like he puts 2 and 2 together that she was hooking up with the other dude and all that. That's like, that's fucked.
But that would be crazy to be able to see your phone like in your eyeball and you're like,
nope.
But yeah,
nope. I don't need that. I don't need that. Fuck that, dude. Or like having it like in you so you could just like go like this and like the phone would be on your hand. I think they have watches now that you can wear that actually does that, like a heads up display.
Elon Musk made a great point on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he said that we are already cyborgs. And the reason we're already cyborgs and run with the machine is because think about how many fucking people you're on your phone. It's already a part of your motherfucking hand, dude.
So
everyone's just constantly on their phones. You constantly got to check for phone calls, text messages, online, social media. All this shit. It's just a huge part of your life.
You got to do less of that, though. I'm here to tell
people
you,
don't.
As somebody who fucking stares at my phone too much, like
Addiction,
sometimes I just plug it in and just set it down. I'll read. I love to read. If you guys need book recommendations, I'll get in there. I have kind of like a niche thing. Like I like Michael Connolly, the Lincoln lawyer, Harry Bosch, for those of you who've seen that, and other like CIA super spy shit. Anyways,
Coming from the guy that didn't know Jurassic Park was a book.
I like to read. I'll cook, and work on little. I didn't fuck Jurassic Park, dude. I didn't know it was a book. I don't care. Aaron didn't either, so I don't feel bad about it. And I can't tell you how many people personally, directly said didn't even know it was a book. And I'm like, boom, I'm not alone. I don't feel so bad about it.
But just to round it out, man, I am on the side where I don't know. I want to tell you I know, but I hope there is something.
There's
regardless
something
of
else.
there has to be
something else.
because that's what I'm saying. It would just be so dumb if it's just like, no, you're just gone for. It's just like what?
That just goes to show you got to take advantage of this and the now and not fuck the future, but just you're gonna have to see what happens, man, and
just gotta live in the now.
Roll
and
the dice, or if you can, however, set yourself up for the the next iteration. Yeah.
So
there's something else for sure. For me, I would say there's something else. But if it's nothing, then
quickly, like I'll bounce that. What would you want? What would be ideal for you? Because I kind of answered, but you didn't really. So what in your world, like, would you want the heaven where you see all your family members again and you're just hanging out for eternity, or what would be your ideal situation?
That's unrealistic, but yeah, that would be great to see everybody and stuff. But just like, it would be cool if the more times you were perhaps reborn, which I'm not trying to upset religious people, or for like if religion, you think death is finality and there's a heaven and that's where you go, cool. Like if that's a thing, great. Or just living again, but like kind of being able to have a little connection to who you were, a la some like Assassin's Creed type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like just to kind of know, but also if you were a murderer, like, would you want to know about that?
No, yeah, or like a horrible dark thing. But so you're saying, but not in this planet. Meaning you're with me where you'd be in another dimension.
Yeah, or just on another
you.
plane. I just have to say, for me personally, seeing my mom again, that'd be fucking great. Yeah. I've had dreams about that. I would cry, dude. That'd be amazing.
To
see my grandma again.
Yeah, see your loved ones.
My pop. Be able to talk to some of these people just about life and things would be cool. Or at least to have the opportunity to do that before, because like eventually, if it's just nothing, I'm not going to know about it.
That's true.
So it is what it is.
Because for me, there's so many questions that we all have that I just hope it would be answered. Like, how was life created? Why are we here? Blah 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 blah. Is there other life? Universe? All that.
I'm just saying, like personally, I want to keep it positive vibes.
Yeah.
Like I think that's what you should do. You should be open to it and be like, it's not going to be anything horrible. It'll just be like, shit, we'll find out when it happens. Like
that's true.
Find out.
You can't live in fear of it either, because then you're just restricting your life and what you're doing now. So that part I believe.
Yeah, you're wild, dude. Like I understand why you're on the fence and you don't want to hammer it in or lock it in.
I'm not going to commit, dude. I'm sorry. And maybe people will be tortured like you, but I just can't, because it's just too much of the unknown, and I don't want to discount anything.
Let us know what you guys think in the comments, or we'll even put some little polls up on the social. Yeah, let's see. Let us know. We'll leave that open. Hit the DMs. Let us know. Email us. We are actually.
I'd love to actually know what people's interest.
Yeah, I'm going to straight put this out there, and I might even like send a clip of this to him directly. It will certainly be done at that point, but we have somebody, he does freelance, who is building our website. There are some edits that need to be done, which is why up until this point when we're filming this, I haven't really put it out there, because I want it to be polished and look the way that Derek and I want it to look. So that's coming soon. It will probably be active by the time you see this, but yeah, hit us on the website. We have a website. The videos are embedded. You could watch the videos on there. Yep. Contact us. Look at our socials.
All that fun stuff. Yep.
We love hearing from you guys. I'm Uncle Kyle. That's my main man, Sweet Derek. We will see you on the next one. Love you guys.
We love you, natties. Let's go. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Naturals Pod. Please remember to follow us on your Twitter and Instagram accounts at the Naturals Pod. Do you have what it takes to join the Natty Nation? Like and subscribe to find out.